What's up? What's going on? This is the What's on Tap on in Sports show with me, George on Tap. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. Today, simply, we're going to be doing three things. We're going to be doing our three kings, three stooges of NFL quarterbacks, or sorry, we call them now three kings and three jesters of NFL quarterbacks. So the three best quarterbacks and the three worst quarterbacks in the NFL. We're going to be doing our top five, bottom five teams, and then we're going to be doing our real estate power rankings, which puts NFL teams in real estate categories. Let's start off by talking about the three kings and three stooges of NFL football. So there's been some really good quarterback play this year, and there's been some really, really god awful quarterback play in the NFL this year. And there's been some surprises as well. Now, our three kings and three jesters are definitely not in any order. So just because I say someone's name first doesn't mean they are first. It's just my three kings and my three stooges. Now, one thing I do want to go ahead and just make sure you guys know, I'm not considering Will Levis did get hurt yesterday and Mason Rudolph came in. So I don't know who's the starter. So ineligible. Huntley and Skylar Thompson, like Tua was hurt. They're ineligible. These are like actual starting quarterbacks right now. Now, if Mason Rudolph comes in and starts multiple games, yeah, he could be a jester. So start off our three kings here first of NFL football, which is always my a little bit like hard because like every week I feel like, oh, maybe I need to put this guy in or move this guy in. There's only three spots here, and these are the three best quarterbacks in the league. Now, he hasn't played like one, but until he loses a game, Patrick Mahomes is still a king. I know. He has been playing some weird football. I mean, this is not the Patrick Mahomes we've gotten to know and love. His stats are not the Patrick Mahomes we know and love. He's just not been relatively amazing this year, but they are undefeated. He's had injuries on his team. He injured his best wide receiver as well. I mean, look at his stats against the Chargers: 19 for 29, 245 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. So far on this short season, and it has been a short season so far, he's only averaging 7.5 yards a attempt, 6 touchdowns, and 5 picks. But until they lose a game, Patrick Mahomes, you are a king. My second king is Lamar Jackson. I left him off the list last week, and that was because they were 1-2. But man, that win against Buffalo, it was just outstanding quarterback play. And if you go look at his stats this year, they've been unbelievable. We'll actually share our screen here and show you his stats because he has been, in my opinion, just as good as his MVP seasons. Now, he was just a tick away from winning, literally beating Kansas City, or at least forcing overtime or having a chance to go for a 2-point conversion. He's been with 5 touchdowns, only 1 pick on the whole entire season. I think he's lost a fumble or 2. But that's not all. We know that with him. He has 308 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns as well. So over 1,100 total yards and 7 touchdowns and 2 turnovers, 1 interception and 1 fumble. Lamar Jackson is definitely a king. And the third king on this list, I can't believe I'm doing it, guys. I left off Josh Allen for Sam Darnold. This year, he's been a king. Plain and simple. He leads the NFL in touchdown passes with 11. He only has 3 picks. He's been outstanding. And it's crazy because there's no rushing yards, and he has a fumble, and he hasn't lost one. But Sam Darnold is leading the 4-0 Vikings. I could not imagine Sam Darnold doing. Josh Allen and CJ Stroud were my 4th and 5th. And then after that, it's kind of a crapshoot. But man, Sam Darnold's just been absolutely amazing, and he definitely deserves a spot as one of the 3 kings. So my 3 kings are Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Sam Darnold. Let's talk about our 3 stooges. Our 3 stooges, man, or 3 jesters. Sorry, I changed the name to jesters because kings and jesters, but still haven't gotten used to it. Jacoby Brissett is one of them. Look, Brissett is just not very good. He's not a good quarterback in the NFL. He's definitely a stopgap quarterback. There's not one moment you watch this New England offense and you're like, oh wow, They look good. And look at these stats: 536 yards in 4 games, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. It's not. It's actually kind of embarrassing how average he is. After a okay week one where he had 168 yards, 98, 149, 121, 1 touchdown that whole time. He takes 0 risks. That's why you don't see any interceptions on this list. But Jacoby Brissett is definitely a jester. Second jester, Deshaun Watson. I don't know how long they can keep trotting him out there. He's just been absolutely. He's been almost a worse quarterback than a person, believe it or not. He has 4 touchdowns, 3 picks on the season, but the way he's done it is just looked unbelievably small. He had an okay game in a loss to the Raiders. But as you can see here, 5.5 average per attempt. Deshaun Watson is simply just not good, and they need to trot out Jameis Winston in there. And this one hurts me. Second week in a row, he almost Trevor Lawrence. I love Trevor Lawrence. Everyone knows who knows me. But what is going on with him? Game by game, he just looks worse and worse. The game against the Dolphins, 12 for 21, 162. Like, he's just been the most average quarterback, and right now he's a jester because he simply needs to be better. Trevor Lawrence is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL, and I still believe in him. Maybe he needs a new coaching staff. Maybe he needs a new franchise. His arm talent is still there, but I'm at the point now where I believe in Trevor Lawrence for what he's done at Clemson rather than he was done in the NFL. And once you're at that point, you're a jester. So my 3 kings are Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, and my 3 jesters are Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, and Jacoby Brissett. Yikes. Do something, Trevor. Get out of this. Only one team ever has made the playoffs coming off a 0-4 start, and I think that was the Indianapolis Colts with Andrew Luck. I think they actually won a playoff game that year too. And if he just needs to do something. I mean, you got Colts, Bears, Patriots next 3 games. And 2 of those are in London, where he is the guy. They need to go into that game against the Packers on October 27th with a chance to go 4-4 to save the season. All right, let's talk about our top 5 and bottom 5 NFL teams. I try to do this every Tuesday after all the NFL games are complete. I'll kind of give you guys a little bonus here at the end, tell you where I think other teams actually deserve to be. But these are my top 5 and bottom 5 teams. We'll start off with our bottom 5 teams because that's way less interesting. The Carolina Panthers. That organization is just ugh. The New York Giants. Don't fire Dable. He's a good coach. But Daniel Jones is so limited, and Malik Neighbors is the only thing saving them. Malik Neighbors has, and I don't know if he's going to be healthy from his concussion, but he's the only thing giving them any hope right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars at 30. What's wrong, Trevor? I've just talked about this. He's one of my 3 jesters. What's wrong, Trevor? Fix it. The Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson's horrible. Bring in Jameis Winston. It's time. At least you're going to throw the ball and chuck it down the field. Your defense is actually pretty good. Do something. Change something. And 28, the Miami Dolphins. I hope Mike McDaniels doesn't lose his job. I think he's a genius of a coach. But when you have to trot out guys like Skylar Thompson and Travis Huntley, there's no chance there. There's no chance. To our top 5 teams. The Kansas City Chiefs. Number 5, the Lions. I think the winner of that Seahawks-Lions game was going to be my 5th spot. And I think the Seahawks actually came out of that game feeling really good. I'm a Seahawks fan and kind of feel even better about the team because they looked good against the Lions team when they had 5 defensive starters out. 5. And on their 3rd string right guard. But the Lions offense moves the ball well. Jared Goff pitched a perfect game, basically. I mean, I know it's not baseball, but he pitched a perfect game. And the Lions are just good. The Buffalo Bills at 4, they're still good. I know they lost to the Ravens, but this is a Super Bowl contender and a team that can actually go really far. The Baltimore Ravens at 3. They went to play Buffalo at home, I know, But Lamar Jackson, they could really easily not be 2-2. They could be 4-0 right now. They're Isaiah Likely toe away from either forcing overtime or going for a 2-point conversion against the Chiefs. And they're actually still a really good team. To the Vikings, I don't know how they're doing it, but their defense is, oh my God, absurd. I know they almost blew that game being in prevent against Jordan Love and the Packers, and I still think the Packers are good, but the Vikings at number 2. By the way, that NFC North, Vikings at 2 in that NFC North division is just tough. And one, the Chiefs. Look, I don't know if they deserve to be one, but until someone knocks them off, just one game, just knock them off for one game. And I know they have injuries, but they find ways to win close football games. When you find ways to win close football games, you deserve to be number 1. So those are my top 5, bottom 5 NFL teams. Let's talk about our real estate rankings. Now, before we get into that, let us share our screen here so you guys can see how we're going to build this one out. We're going to go banners here and we're going to go boom, boom, boom. How nice would it be to have an executive producer here to give me all this, right? Our real estate rankings of NFL football teams. So how this works is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiers. A New York City penthouse, that means you're on top of a world. A waterfront mansion, you're doing pretty dang well. A nice home with a pool, you're having a good life, happy. You might be able to upgrade into that waterfront mansion with a couple good years and some smart investments. A suburban home, you're average, you're making it. Nothing horrible. Apartment, paycheck to paycheck, you're struggling to even get by. Hospital, you're just injured. And a trailer home, you do not want to be in a trailer home. So the way we do this is we just kind of go team by team. We'll start off with the New Orleans Saints, who are just a suburban home. I think they're an average football team. They're good enough to win some games. They can upgrade some things. We're going to give them a suburban home. The Miami Dolphins are a hospital. If your quarterback's hurt and he's hurt like Tua's hurt, to me, you're just in the hospital, plain and simple. The Baltimore Ravens. Oh, man. I'm going to put you guys at the New York City penthouse. You guys are good enough to win the Super Bowl. You're good enough to be a really good team. And plain and simple, you deserve to be up there. The Bengals are a nice home with a pool. Joe Burrow is that pool, and Jamar Chase. The Broncos, you're average. Good coach, good defense. You're not struggling. You're 2-2 somehow. The Giants, your apartment, paycheck to paycheck. You're barely struggling to survive right now. Barely struggling to survive. The Minnesota Vikings, your waterfront mansion. Great defense. The quarterback looks good. You might get up into that New York City penthouse. But I just need to see Sam Darnold do it for a full season before I get there. Rams, you got enough injuries. You're a hospital. Buccaneers, you're a nice home with pool. Make a couple upgrades. You can get into that waterfront mansion. Lions, your waterfront mansion. Really good football team. Bears, your apartment, paycheck to paycheck. Or you know what? You're a suburban home. I think Caleb Williams will get better throughout the season. 49ers, you also make that hospital category. You got a lot of injuries. So plain and simply, you're in the hospital right now. The Eagles, I don't even know what to do with the Eagles. I'm going to put on a suburban home right now until they get their stuff together, because right now they do not have anything together. The Raiders, apartment, paycheck to paycheck. Hey, you guys won a couple games. You're not a trailer home. Packers, nice home with a pool. You're a pretty good team. Commanders, you've made it all the way up to nice home with a pool, and you're close to getting the waterfront mansion. I think you're the best team in the NFC East, and Jayden Daniels is that pool. He is changing the way NFL football is played. Cardinals, apartment, paycheck to paycheck. You guys are struggling, 1-3. Steelers, you're a nice home with a pool. Great defense, but I don't think you're on one of these like top contending teams. Bills, you're also an NYC penthouse. You can win the Super Bowl. You can be on top of a world by the end of the season. The Falcons, where are we going to put you, Falcons? You're a nice home with a pool. You guys got a really good roster. I just don't think you're a waterfront mansion yet. Seahawks, you're a nice home with a pool too. I love my Seahawks, but they're just one step below right now. This waterfront mansion category. Patriots, you're a trailer home. You guys suck. Jacoby Brissett sucks. Your offense sucks. I don't think you have the right head coach. Nothing about you guys I like. Browns, you're also a trailer home. You just lost to the Raiders, and Deshaun Watson is horrid. Texans, you're a nice home with a pool. Like basically, the nice home with a pool is like saying I'm saying you guys are going to be playoff teams this year. I know there might be I might have too many playoff teams, but like these are teams that can probably win the playoff game too. Chiefs, New York City penthouse. You are a Super Bowl contender. You're probably going to be at the AFC Championship game with a chance to go to the Super Bowl and just need to win one game. Cowboys, you're average. I don't know what to do with the Chargers. Part of me wants to put them all the way at nice home with a pool, and part of me wants to put them in the hospital. Right now, I'm going to put them in the hospital because I don't think Justin Herbert was healthy at all last game. Jets, you're average. You are just an average football team, and that sucks. But you have Aaron Rodgers, and he does not look like the Aaron Rodgers of old. Carolina, where else am I going to put you? Trailer home. Come on. You guys are horrible. Titans, I don't care if you won a football game. You're a trailer home. Colts, you're a suburban home. You're okay. I think you guys are all right. Anthony Richardson plays Russian roulette every single game. It's either he's going to make the best pass I've ever seen or he's going to make the worst pass I've ever seen. And the Jaguars, I'm still going to put you here, apartment paycheck to paycheck and not a trailer home. But I think you're one of the 5 worst teams right now in the NFL. But you have Trevor Lawrence, and there has to be a way to salvage that into at least having an okay season. So that's our NFL real estate rankings. Let me know which ones you agree and which ones you disagree with. All right, guys, thank you for watching. This has been the What's on Tap in Sports Show with me, George on Tap. As always, brought to you by Caesar Sportsbook. Use promo code on tap and you can get up to a $1,000 bonus bet. No sweat bet using the Caesars app. And make sure to call 1-800-GAMBLING if you have a gambling problem, and you must be 21 and over to participate. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is George on Tap, and we'll see you guys next time.